Picture this. It's post-war Germany, and this man, Bruno Gröning, starts drawing these huge, massive crowds, all because of claims of miraculous healings. His teachings put forward a pretty radical idea. What if illness isn't just a physical problem, but a spiritual one, with a spiritual solution? Today, we're going to dive into his core concepts, this idea of a divine healing stream, the power of our thoughts, and the controversial role he claimed to play in all of it. All right, so let's just jump right into the big, maybe even provocative question at the heart of all this. According to Bruno Gröning's teachings, the answer is a clear and simple yes. And we're not talking about some side note here. This is the bedrock, the absolute foundation of his entire philosophy on health and healing. So, to really get this, we're going to follow Gröning's logic step by step. First up, we'll look at what he called the source of all healing, the divine healing stream. Then, we'll get into Gröning's very unique role as a sort of human transformer for this energy. After that, we'll see how our own thoughts can either block this power or let it in. And finally, we'll cover the specific method he taught for tuning in. Okay, let's kick things off with the absolute foundation of his teachings, this idea of a universal divine energy that Gröning called the Heilstrom. So the key word you need to know is Heilstrom. It's a German word, and it basically means healing stream or healing current. In this belief system, it's not just a nice idea. It's seen as a tangible, spiritual force from God that is the source of all life and all healing. And this quote from Gröning himself, man, it really gets right to the heart of it. It sets up this clear duality. See, in this view, illness isn't just your body malfunctioning. It's a physical sign of what he calls evil. And because of that, the only thing that can fix it is the ultimate good, which he says is the divine power of the Heilstrom. Now, to make this whole thing a bit easier to grasp, Gröning used a really simple analogy. He taught that you should think of your body like a battery. Every single day, every thought, every action uses up energy. And if you don't recharge, that battery gets weaker and weaker, leaving you open to problems. The Heilstrom in this teaching is that divine recharge you need to stay strong and healthy. Okay, so if this divine power is just out there for everyone, you might be asking, well, what was Bruno Gröning's role in all of this? And that brings us to our next section, his idea of being a human transformer. To explain this role, Gröning used another really powerful analogy. He starts with this. Imagine that every single person, you, me, everyone, is like a light bulb. We're all naturally designed to shine brightly, to be healthy and full of life. But, a light bulb can't do anything on its own, right? It needs a power source. And in this analogy, God is the power plant, the source of this immense, raw, and incredibly powerful current. And this is where it all comes together. Think about it. What happens if you plug a tiny household light bulb directly into a massive power plant? Boom! It would just explode instantly. So Gröning claimed his whole purpose was to be the transformer in the middle. He believed he could take that raw, powerful current from God and step down the voltage, making it safe for regular people, the light bulbs, to receive and use for healing. And you can see the ultimate goal of all this, the promise, really, in this quote. Making that connection wasn't just about getting rid of sickness. The real goal was to achieve this complete state of well-being, full of joy, happiness, and peace. But here's the thing. It wasn't just about passively sitting there and waiting for this energy. According to Gröning, our own minds are the gatekeepers. And that brings us to the critical role of our thoughts, which he said came from two very different places. The whole idea is pretty straightforward. He taught that every single thought we have comes from one of two places. On one side, you have the divine source, which sends thoughts that give you power and health and make you feel good. On the other side, you have the evil source, which sends negative thoughts of anger and fear. These, he taught, actually carry a negative force that makes you ill. So you're probably wondering, how are you supposed to know which is which? Well, the teaching says it's all about your feelings. Your emotional state is like a built-in compass. The real work, then, is to learn how to accept those good thoughts and consciously push away the negative ones. And that's his advice, straight up. It's a call to become super aware of what's going on inside you. In his view, good feelings aren't just pleasant emotions. They are a direct line, a connection to the divine. Okay, so we've got the power source, the Heilstrom. We've got the gatekeeper, our minds. So what's the next logical step? How do you actually do this? How do you tune in and receive the divine power? Well, there's a specific practice for this, and it's called Einstellen, which basically means tuning in. It's a 4-step process. Step 1, you mentally detach from the illness, you stop focusing on it. Step 2, you consciously let go of all your negative thoughts and worries. Step 3, you actually ask to receive the Heilstrom. And finally, step 4, you just sit quietly and observe what's happening in your body. And to explain why that step of letting go of negativity is so important, he used this really powerful analogy. Imagine you have a can with a little bit of sour milk left in it. If you pour fresh milk on top, what happens? The whole thing spoils. In the same way, the teaching says that the divine Hallstrom can only flow into a mind and body that has first been emptied of all that evil, all those negative thoughts, and the attachment to being sick. Now, as someone is tuning in, they're told to expect, well, physical sensations. It could be warmth, a feeling of cold, tingling, or even pain. These sensations have a name, Regelungen, or regulations. And according to the teaching, this isn't the illness acting up. It's supposed to be the Heilstrom itself, physically cleaning out the body. Even painful sensations are seen as a good sign that deep healing is happening. And look, these teachings weren't just some abstract idea in a book. Back in 1949, this became a huge real-world thing. This photo shows thousands upon thousands of people flocking to a place in Germany called the Traberhof. Many were desperate, searching for help, and they all believed that Bruno Gröning could connect them to this divine healing power. Now, Bruno Gröning passed away in 1959, but for his followers, that was not the end of the story. Not at all. This quote, which he said to his friends near the end, really captures that belief. The teaching holds that he's still doing his job as that transformer for anyone who tunes in, but that the ultimate goal is for every single person to eventually find that healing connection for themselves from within. So when you put it all together, from a divine healing stream to a man who called himself a transformer, to this idea that our thoughts can literally invite either health or illness, the teachings of Bruno Gröning present a very direct model for the mind-body connection. And it really leaves us with a profound question to think about, no matter what you believe. What is the true connection between belief, thought, and our own healing?